Hey again, and welcome back to the presentation. I'm sorry about that, this thing has a 5-minute limit, so you know what, I just decided, why not just make 2 parts instead of paying $60 to upgrade. So let's not let that take away from the flow of this presentation, and let's just get it started back up again. Alright, let's go. Not only are the people who live in Middle Eastern nations physically affected, but close relatives of these people, or people with specific religious backgrounds, are affected far away from it too. To be more specific, a big question a lot of people have today is how are Middle Easterners living far away from home affected in a safe, non-discriminatory country? Muslims and other Middle Easterners living in first world countries like Canada and USA are faced with unreasonable racism and discrimination, even to this day. It all began with 9/11, which began an outburst of racism in both these countries when everybody began to assume that since a Muslim tried to blow up the Twin Towers, all Muslims must be terrorists. Muslim kids in school have told reporters that they have been bullied before in school because of the terrorist attacks, being told that they have no right in the first world countries and that it is somehow their fault that many have been killed. It is heartbreaking to see that along with the increasing movement of Middle Easterners to Western nations, the amount of Middle Eastern terrorism has also increased, which has even ruined the lives of some people because of the discrimination they receive at work, school, or simply in a public area. There are many statistics to show the heinous discrimination against Middle Easterners in first world countries. About 30% of Middle Eastern women have experienced racism and discrimination since 2001, according to a poll taken by government agencies. 39% of Americans feel some sort of prejudice to Muslims, and 22% of them say they wouldn't want Muslims for neighbors post the 9/11 attacks. 54% of Americans even say that they wouldn't vote for a Muslim president. The bias towards this now huge group of people in the Western nations has led to a lot of depression among the entire community, but it seems that women who wear special headdresses like hijabs and children in schools may have it the worst. After learning about all of this, many people including myself wonder what we can really do to stop Middle Eastern terrorism. What would our world look like without it? Terrorism from the Middle East has been a problem for many years, sparking a huge revolution about national security on September 11, 2001. Every nation has a goal to protect their land and citizens, always looking for different techniques of counterterrorism to fight back the people causing harm. My personal belief, however, is that by fighting back Middle Eastern terrorism in a violent way, first world countries are becoming no better than Middle Eastern terrorists in the eyes of the ones we are attacking. Isn't to say that tragic events like 9/11 are to be taken any more lightly, but it also doesn't mean that the violent counterattacks first world nations use on entire countries to counter one or more terrorist groups don't harm innocent people too. It is understandable that when a new terrorist group arises, most countries will see a threat to their people, beckoning them to get involved with the terrorist group itself. When they are involved, however, the group will begin to target more and more countries who become a threat to them, creating a violent game of tag where the roles of cat and mouse are constantly changing and many innocent people are affected and harmed. A world without terrorism would be a world where peace is a #1 priority, not protection. We cannot end terrorism by using the methods of terrorism to bomb and kill Iraqis. We must bring the troops home from Iraq, fund non-violent democratic peacemakers, and send food and medicine to Iraq. We must teach non-violence to everybody in the world, beginning with children all the way to political leaders. All of these things can be achieved with effort from everybody, creating a place not where there is a sadness or political world peace, but create a world where there is no more destruction. No more nameless lives lost. No more children who pass away because they are caught in the middle of terrorist and counter-terrorist attacks. A world without terrorism from the Middle East wouldn't only make the world and its people safer, it would make them happier too.
Created using Powtoon.